Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday night's Messages of Love from Above. I can't believe it. Here is again a Sunday evening. It feels like I just said this moments ago. So this last week just whooshed by. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. For those of you on the other side of the world, good morning, Monday morning to you. And before we get started into the readings, I do want to send love out to the world. If you'd like to join me in doing that, whether you're watching live or on replay, I do welcome that. We can meet outside of space and time and multiply all that love together out to the world. So I'm going to just take a big, deep breath and come back to right here, right now. And allow that love from above to flow down into our heart, fill us up, and flow out to the world. And if you yourself are in need of love in this moment for your mind, your heart, your body, for a loved one, a situation, a relationship, whatever it may be, we send love to you right now as well. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for doing that with me and allowing me the space for that. I always love feeling that beautiful flow of energy out to the world, and it does make a difference. I've read different things, different places where just one person sending unconditional love out to the world counteracts, 700,000 up to 10 million. I've had all these different numbers, and it makes sense. Unconditional love energy is so much more powerful and potent than the fear energies. And so anyone that's, feeling the fear energies, just one person sending out unconditional love counteracts that many people feeling fear in the lower vibrational love, and two people doing it is even bigger. But it when they do it together, it multiplies it. It doesn't just add on. So that's why I love doing this at the beginning, because it gives us such an opportunity to make an impact in the energy of the world. All right. And before we get into the readings, just last chance to get into my drawing for tomorrow. Here's the link in the video down below, um, in the chat there. Excuse me. Every Monday, I do give away a personal recorded reading. Tomorrow is going to be a 1 hour personal recorded reading. And in this video, I talk about the monthly giveaway that I'm also going to be doing, which is related to the monthly readings. And here is the link to the playlist for those. So if you haven't checked out your April monthly yet, we still have about halfway to go yet. So you can check that out. And also, the company I have my merchandise through, which is Spring, formerly known as Teespring, they are having a sale, and tomorrow's the last day. They're offering 25% off of one order, which is them taking it off of their profits, which they hardly ever do. So I thought I'd make sure to share that with you guys in case anyone does want any of the merch. This is one of the shirts here. I love you. It has the sign for I love you. And I love all my shirts and merchandise are usually all about love and laughter and reminders, and so that's why I offer those. And then also each week, at least once a week, I put out a pick a card, and the one from last week was about life purpose. What do you need to know right now around your life purpose? So if you haven't checked those out, those are all free, of course. And I have a ton of other pick a cards that I put out. So if you are so interested, there you go. All right. So enough of that. We are going to get into, let me just get my desktop all set up here and we will get into the readings. If you are new to my channel or to my these free readings, welcome, first of all, but also how they work. The free readings, I just go down in order in the chat, first come, first serve. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can also just ask for a general reading. Spirit knows what you want. So just doing that suffices. Also, let me say just one more thing there. There we go. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I prioritize those readings and I step out of the free readings, complete those. I do dive in deeper in those too. And then once I'm done, I return back to the free readings and make them through as many as I can, in the chat. I am here normally for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So um, I try to get through as many free readings as possible. All right. So, oh, yeah. How do you make a donation? So, dollar amount doesn't matter, the amount of the donation. I know everyone's funds are different from person to person and from day to day, but you can use the super chat down below. Or I have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square linked in the description box at the top. I'm sorry, the description box of the video, but the pinned comment at the top as well. All right, so that is what I have. I do have a couple donations. Uh, I have one from Spring that came in first, and then Alex, you'll be up after that. So, Spring, thank you so much for your donation. Springtime, and it is springtime right now. So, good evening to you, my friend, and you would love some advice from Spirit. Absolutely. So, I am going to use the Star Tarot. It's one of my favorite tarot decks. If you're interested in these for yourself, just so you know what the box looks like if you're going to order them online for Amazon or wherever. It's beautiful. It's big. I mean, I'm 6'4", and this is a big box because this is a big head. But a bunch. All right. So, Spring, you are up. Now, they want to get you a Angels and Ancestors Oracle card to start off. So, we'll start off with that. And let's see what we have here. All right. And you're starting off with the Fire Guardian, which says, ignite your passion. I don't think you ever get messages like that. Let's take a look here. So connect with your desires. The sparks could lead to beautiful. And the guardian represents the angels of fire, and fire is an energy that many people are afraid of, but don't need to be. Burning desires can lead to great expansion. Allow the fire guardian to help you awaken a wilder side of yourself and burn away any fear or shame that stands between you and your desires. When this card appears, you are reminded that passion is powerful and absolutely encouraged by spirit. In the extended message for the card, you're being guided by your angels to connect with the powerful energy of desire at this time. And if you have recently set an intention to explore your intimate side or become more intimately open, the fire of desire can burn away any old setbacks that are preventing you from expressing that part of your nature. If you're in a relationship, this card can indicate a greater spiritual and intimate connection. Whoa, well, well, well. What is happening here? We will dive in a little deeper with some tarot. All right. So let's take a look here, Spring. What else is all this fire and passion about? Is there someone, or is this something, or what? I'm getting all nosy in your business. All right. Let's see what we have here. Right. Well, it looks like a little bit of both here because you have the Hierophant, which, oh, okay. So this is going into your inner truths. You're being invited to dive deep into discovering what is your capital T truth. Who do you want to be? What do you want to have happen in this world? Right. And so you've been on this maze, and I feel like you're in the last rung here. You're getting into the nitty gritty here because you've been doing a lot of inner work for quite a while, right? But I feel like you're getting into the heart of the matter of who you really want to be and what you want to do. And so I feel like it's both dreams and how you want to express your love to the world, but also to an individual. Because here is the individual. We've got the Princess of Cups, which would be the Page of Cups, but it's a new love that's coming in here. And so the full card is one that's free of restriction, a brand new start, open, without having a whole lot of roles, expectations, supposed tos, shoulds. It's just like having someone that you're on this adventure with. And I don't know. They're reminding me of the Lord of the Rings with Frodo and Sam. Sam, I forget what his last name, how they said it, but it's Frodo and Sam going on this adventure together, hand in hand on this, ominous task to take the ring, to get rid of it at the volcano. And I feel like this is the kind of energy they have. Like there's not all these rules and stuff. It's just someone that feels like it's best friend sleeping over, and it's not, you know, oh, it's this title and this stuff and blah blah blah. It's like it just feels so, you know, I'm having trouble putting it into words. It's such a just a wonderful, safe. It's like safety. It's warmth. It's no pressure. It's being oneself and not worrying about disappointing or, judging each other. It's just this wonderful space, and so I feel like that's the person part of that card of the passions and the fire coming in. And then you also have, when you have the first card and the major arcana, which is the full, and you have the last card, which is the world, which I feel like this has to do with like career and all that, how you're expressing the love to the world. The world card is the ending of old cycles and the beginning of a whole new world, a whole new story. I love this card because the four of swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our expectations, etc. And there's this you know four of swords is they're usually sleeping on the sword and cutting away, the old ways of thinking, the fears of not acting. And but I love the change of the story thing here because I've got like here's the story of the three bears, but where's Goldilocks? No, Goldilocks isn't here. We've got Geronimo, and in addition to that, there's also a talking trout that comes into the picture, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not the story the way it's told. And it's like, exactly, you get to tell the story the way you want it to be. You get to have more power in what you want and what you're wanting to do. It's not living up to all the old ways of doing things, the old ways of thinking and being. So I really like this. There really is like passion in dual ways here entering your life, and really being true to you. That hierophant is just about turning inward and upward for your definition and not from all the old ways of thinking. So I really like this for you, Spring. So the advice is enjoy it. I really feel like they're saying allow the spice in both your personal, interaction, and then also let it flow out to the world, and don't bridle at either area back. Allow yourself to experience it. What's the worst that could happen? I like it. That's what they have for you, Spring. So many blessings to you, and thank you again for your donation. Greatly appreciate that. Next up, we have Alex and then Latoya. Thank you. I do see your donation came through as well over on the PayPal. And I do see your question over there, so we'll get to that one after Alex. So thank you. And thank you, Alex, so much for your donation. And you want to know what's to come in the future around love. Right. So let's take a look here. So, Alex, what is coming for the future for love? All right. That one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. All right. Let's see what we have here. Okay. All right. I almost feel like we've got whiplash around love, right? Because we've got the Knight of Wands, which is like fast, fast, a lot of passion, a lot of movement. But we also have the Temperance card, which is slow moving. It's slowly evolving, slowly unfurling, right? And I feel like if this hasn't happened yet, what happens, you have like this very passionate encounter with someone where, not necessarily it goes way, way passionate, but it's just like there's this big attraction between you and someone. And then it just feels like it just takes forever for the next step to happen. But either eh, what they're showing me in my head is like you meet someone and it's like at a party or a gathering of some sort, and it's just like you hit it off so well and they're like, oh my gosh, I want to see you again. They're like, but I'm leaving to go out of the country for 3 weeks on business and I'll be back. And you're just like, no. But I feel like you still like communicate back and forth, email, text, whatever, you know like kind of communication where you get to know each other, like in their, mentally and history and stuff, because you have a lot of conversations going back and forth. But you don't get to see each other again until they come back from like this business trip. And it's good because during that process there's a lot of uh, reflection you do on the swords, which is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And the Eight of Swords is you're becoming aware of what your own thoughts have been keeping you blinded and bound and trapped regarding love in the past. Because, during those 3 weeks, it's just like the fears of the past, the fears of things. And I like that it's by text and by email because you have time to read over it and go, "Ah," and freak out if you so choose to. And then, and then you respond back to where you're working through some things um, where it's not where they don't see your face, during most of it, because it's like you can collect your thoughts and go, "When this is about me, this isn't about them. Let me work through that, and then okay, now I can do this." Which comes into this, balancing here. It's the balancing. This keeps things for 3 weeks at least moving slower. But when they come back, I feel like things move fast into this overflowing emotion. So as soon as this happens, I mean, you're going to know it because it's going to be such a clear thing that's happening as you meet someone and they're leaving for like 3 weeks before they come back, and you're just gonna be like, "Yep, here they are." And it does. A 10 of Cups is a beautiful, beautiful, fulfilling, card to come in there. So, of course, while we're waiting for it to happen, what do we do? And this is for everyone, right? It's like sometimes I know it feels like a broken record, but I'm like, keep on pounding it into our head spirit. We will get it. Our human needs to hear it while we're waiting for love or opportunities of any kind to come in. We can work on our self love. And the more we raise our love vibration by cutting away old thoughts like those Eight of Swords, old thoughts that no longer serve us, of fears of losing conditional love and getting rid of emotions that no longer serve us, really raising in our vibration as well. So that's what they have for you, Alex. So I like it. Many blessings to you. And again, thank you so much for your donation. All right. Absolutely. You are welcome. All right, Latoya, you are up. Thank you for your donation, of course, as well. And let's take a look here. So you went out last night. Okay. Oh no. And then he starts laughing. Okay, interesting. Let's take a look here and see what does spirit wants you to know around this Taurus. This Taurus. Okay. What does spirit want you to know? What is going on here? All right. So we have the 10 of wands here, and I really feel like there's this going to be this change of energy that's been going on between the two of you here, because the hanged man is here, which is normally things have been kind of going slowish and just it feels like just sluggish, right? And the 10 of wands feels like, this is like a a energy of a burden, and then it becomes lighter, because it goes from the 10 of wands is the ending, and then we go into the ace of wands, which is the beginning. So it's just like there's been a lot of energy invested kind of in this transformation, because this is like the cocoon where it takes energy for the caterpillar to turn into the butterfly, but it feels like this time is up here because we have the magician that comes in here. And the magician is a new start, is a new passion, is like the ace of wands. It's kind of like what they have in their hand in a way, and it's significant. So I feel like it's about to emerge here. And, um, because you end up into the 10 of cups, which I just put back in the deck. It came flying back out. This is what they're wanting, and there's this balancing of heart and mind that's happening, but I feel like there is this ignition that's happening. And you said that they started laughing, and you said when, and then it cut off. But um, I feel like their humor for them seems to be like their how they deal with their nervousness, right? It's like they laugh because uh, they're afraid to kind of be serious, if that makes sense. Where they'll joke about things, and sometimes they'll even, of course, when people joke, they put a little bit of truth in there with the joke, ha 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 ha, to see what people will say and what people will do too. And if there's a positive response, then they'll get a little braver. But if someone has a negative response to what they're saying, then it's like, oh, okay, good. That's like their little test to make sure that they don't get hurt, or that they don't, get rejected or things like that. So, it's I used to call them jesters, where a jester will, because of stuff that happened in their past, they've used humor to mask their pain, and then also to keep them safe. Um, but they do have the capacity to share the vulnerabilities once they feel safe. And I feel like that's kind of what is going on here with all of these cards coming in here. So hopefully that resonates and makes sense there. But I do feel like they are wanting to definitely spark something towards that 10 of cups. But they're bark, 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 chicken, chicken. So they use humor, which sometimes that blows up in jesters' faces. I know, especially when someone wants you to be serious in a moment. Um, and but they, it's like people who trigger and laugh at a funeral because that's how they deal with their feelings, it comes out as that instead of, what's expected or desired, but it's everyone has their own way of doing things. So maybe knowing that that's them, you can be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So hopefully that helps, Latoya, and that's what I have for you. So many blessings again. Thank you so much for your donation. Greatly appreciate it. All right. And so I think that is all the donations. So we will start with the free readings. And LA, you are at the top. So let me take a quick slip here. Excuse me. All right. So you want to know, what are Stephen S.'s actions for the rest of April? Is he going to be silent or reach out to your lawyer? All right, let's see here. What kind of actions or non-actions are going on here for April? Well, we got a little justice stuff happening in here. We have the strength card here. So I feel like this isn't silent. I feel like that this is boldness. This is speaking up. There is this balancing out and movement and communication. The Ace of Swords is, in addition to being, truths and expectations and thoughts and all that, it's also communication. I feel like there's some balanced communication. And they do step up here to speak, during the month of April here, because I do feel like this feels courageous to me, and this feels, of course, the justice system, that they are balancing things out, and there is communication there, in with justice. So that would be a affirmative for that, um, and I feel like they are, just going to pour it all out, whatever they're supposed to communicate, whatever is coming, they're just bringing it all, forward. They're ready to speak. They're ready to have whatever finalized, and just to get everything out into the open, and have things completed, it feels like. So that is what's coming through, LA. So I like that for you. Hopefully, many blessings for you. Okay, very good. I'm so glad, Latoya. Thank you. All right, always victory. You are up next. Hello, hello. And what do your guides want you to know to expedite your blessings? All right, yeah. What hints or advice or guidance do they have here? Wow. Boom, boom. We have the death and the rebirth and the tower. I mean, talk about change happening, right? Which, the endings and new beginnings, and the tower, with the tower, really reinforcing that whatever leaves our life on purpose for us, and we can kind of transform all the any victimhood that we've had, go, in our life, where things have left us or we felt abandoned or whatever. We can relook at them and go, you know what, there is a reason why they were brought out of my life, and it made space for new things to come in. Also, things were removed out of my past so I could move forward and move to where I'm going. Staying stagnant, is not helpful for us. We don't grow and we don't move, um, unless we have change that happens. And I feel like this is them saying, what can help, expedite blessings, is to trust that whatever comes into our life truly is for us, even when we can't see it. And because when we get caught up in the lower vibrational energies of victimhood, where we are like, and we all do it and have done it, where we're, this thing happens in our life, and we're like, why is this happening to me? What have I done to deserve this? Right. And it's like, when we change that and go, okay, instead, I'm going to look at, why did this happen for me, and try to muster gratitude around it, right? And go, okay, I know there's something, like an example, and it's actually a real life example. My sister-in-law, um, this the one morning she had twin she has twin daughters and then a son, and she had the son was a little baby still, and the his sisters were like 2 or 3 years old, and they wouldn't put on their shoes, and they you know took off the shoe once they put them on, and she was trying to get them all going, and they were running so late, and she was just like getting frustrated, and she was just like, you know what, I'm just going to let's just take my time, and I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. And they got, into the van and started heading off, and they hit this freeway that was backed up because moments before, like where she would have been, there was a car came across. It went like across the other side of the freeway, came and took out all these cars, and she was just like, "Oh my god, that would have been where I would have been." And so we don't know why things happen, right? But we can have this attitude of gratitude about stuff and go, "You know what? I'm not sure why this is happening, but I'm going to trust that it is for me," and that we build up that trust. And that's what helps expedite blessings, because the more we're grateful for everything as much as possible, even things from the past, we can revisit and transform that energy, because all that energy is bubbling underneath, right? That's what draws more things to be grateful for, and which draws in blessings. So I feel like that is what they want you to know right now. Always victory. So many blessings to you. Lovely, lovey. You are up next for the next free reading. And happy Sunday to you. And again, good news. If either of your daughters or you will win a big lottery. All right, let's take a look here and see. Are any of you destined with your energies currently that you have to win a big lottery, a big amount of winnings? Anything else? All right. I laugh because the first card that came in was like, who knows? The moon is the mysteries and the hidden, the veil, right? I'm like, it's like the high priest. Oh yeah, it's like the high priestess, the hidden, the unknown, what's going on. And I'm like, why don't you want to let us to know that? But you have the Prince of Wands, which is the, power of where we invest our energy. It's like we were just talking about the gratitude, right? Page of Wands, they hold the Ace of Wands in their hands, which tell us that, it's new drive, new passion, wherever we focus our energy is what grows and expands. Um, so, and the moon and the high priestess too, it's I feel like they're saying at this time there could be some underlying, because she goes into the subconscious. This is about diving into the subconscious as well. And so there could be some blocks to abundance that are under there about, the willingness and the worthiness of receiving. And these are like subconscious things that, like, what's underneath there? What did our little child self go through that we don't realize that created a block towards abundance? And so it's almost like this, take a gander, down under. I've mentioned here once before, there was a book, Tapping into Wealth by Margaret Lynch, I think. It's the tapping method, and it helps you get in tune with your child self. I think I have it right here so you can see it if you anyone is interested in it. Yeah. Um Here, let me just show you this in case anyone wants it. This is what the book cover looks like. I even have stuff tagged here because one of the things that I didn't realize, my little child self, I mean, I'm like, why would that have affected abundance? And then it dawned on me. But I talked about it a couple of times here in the last couple of weeks. When I was like 2 or 3 years old, we went over to my dad's boss's house for Easter for an Easter egg hunt. And so all the children, there was this big field in front of their house. All the adults went on their own Easter egg hunt in the backyard. but all the kids, which now that I look at it, I'm like, you're going to send all these kids out into a field, but you're going to let the adults have the go into the safe backyard. I didn't even realize that. But anyway, so I was really good at finding these eggs. I mean, I was just finding all of them. I'm like, oh look, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, and my basket was almost overflowing where I couldn't even put any more eggs in there. And there were kids that didn't have anything in their basket, and a lot of kids didn't hardly have any. And so my dad was like, he's a very giving person. He gave my eggs away. He started putting them back so other kids could find them. He like took half of my eggs away. And it makes sense. I understand. I'm like, yeah, you can't help it if other kids suck at at Easter egg hunting. I was just an expert. Um, but my little child self, what did that tell it? What did that tell my subconscious? You don't deserve to have a whole lot, just enough. You have to let everyone else have everything else. And it's like, wow, you don't realize that. And when I was doing the tapping through that book, she talks a lot about talking to our subconscious, and things come up, and you're just like, wow. So I feel like that is what is coming in with that moon and that high priestess, that there's just some things that you can clear away, which allow then these force fields of abundance to allow things to come in. So I feel like right now they're like, well, right now with what where everything is at, I don't see a big lotto win, but they're saying, but if you clear away some of these barriers these invisible barriers that are up, even though our conscious mind we're thinking, I want to win, our little child self underneath is like, no, no, we can't win. We can only have this many eggs, and it keeps it away. So that's what they have for you, lovey, lovey. I hope you enjoyed my childhood story. So many blessings. And if you do win, don't forget us. All right. I know you wouldn't. Many blessings. And hello, LA. Just saw that. All right. So many blessings to you. And we'll continue to move forward here. And new love, you are up next. So you feel angry over things. Okay. And very unbalanced. Okay. Is it going to continue the rest of the month, or will you feel better and more normal? Well, I'm sorry you're going through that, new love. I know, the emotions and the feelings that you're describing, of course, are rooted in fears. Whenever we are in a fear place in our life, it does, it triggers us into, fight or flight. Anger is the fight in us, right? And then the unbalance, the confusion and feeling things is totally what happens when we're in fear mode. The blood leaves our brain to fight or to flee, and it doesn't want us thinking clearly. It wants us just reacting. And that may be why we're feeling unbalanced and some confusion of like, I need to make a choice. And it's like, no, I just need to react. I need to be a hissing cat or a running away cat. It doesn't want us to stand there and die. Right. So I feel like they're mentioning that, and let's take a look here and see what advice they have on how you can transform that, how you can step out. Yeah, yeah, it makes sense here. So first of all, deep breathing. I know when I have fears ignited and it starts going up, and I can tell it feels like someone's grabbing my heart and going, because that's like when we go into fear, we're starting to activate to go into fight or flight mode to send adrenaline through our bodies, and we, short of breath, and our muscles ache, and our saliva leaves, and our digestive system shuts down, and our immune system shuts down. There are all this stuff that happens when we go into fight or flight mode. And when I started recognizing those things, deep breathing helps push the adrenaline because it floods our body with oxygen, but it also helps calm us. And it's like the hissing cat, we calm down our hissing cat to where our adult mind comes back, and then we can pet the our inner kitty and have this calmness and be able to see in more clearly. And something else that we can do here is what we focus on. Once we're able to calm ourselves, what we focus on continually helps, and joy and laughter is a fear killer. The more we can laugh, the more we can focus on joy and, of course, unconditional love and peace. But all that laughter and the joy and focusing on gratitude for what is, helps transform and helps us not feel those all those emotions related to fear. Instead, it fills us up, and we feel like love overflowing, turning inward and upward for the love from above. This would be focusing on the unconditional love of the higher realms that does fill up all our emotions. And the Three of Cups, which is joy and celebration, also represents like your spiritual posse, too. That we can, the more we connect to the spirit world, which is our beings made of unconditional love, we feel their energy and we feel them all around us. And it changes us. It just allows things to settle, and then we can look at what fears are being triggered in our calmness. We can go, what was I afraid of? What triggered? Was I afraid of rejection? Was I afraid of losing someone, something, a job? We have all these things that bubble underneath that trigger us because we're given so many, which we're in a giant amusement park full of fear rides. So there's opportunities to fear wherever we look, but we can start to look, at it differently as well. So the more that you can pay attention to what you're putting in your eyes and your ears, even your nose, your mouth, your touch, all our senses, whatever we're bringing into our brain is going into our conscious and subconscious, will trigger us to unconditional love or fear. And so if we're gonna watch the news, we're gonna spend a lot of time in fear. I've stopped watching the news. I see enough through just YouTube popping up on things, and I don't even have to watch the news. I just see it and I'm like, "Oh, there's the drama going on in the world." But let me focus more on things of, peace and unconditional love. So hopefully that helps, new love. I'm sending you bunch and bunch of love right now, and let it just surround you in a giant bubble. Take as many deep breaths as you can. And even something that helped me that they just remind me too with breathing is, um, at a fearful time in my life, I actually set an alarm on my phone. I set a lot of alarms on my phone throughout time for different reasons, and they're vibrating alarms so they don't irritate other people. But I did it for every waking hour that just said, like, breathe. And I would remember to go, and may come back out of fear because I probably was drawn out into it because there's so much going on in the world. Stress at work of I'm going to fail. I need to do all this stuff. I'm doing something wrong. There's just so much that it would just bring me back calmness, and then whoosh, gets like that. My alarm would go off and it'd bring me back. So that's what they have for you, new love. Many blessings to you. Hang in there. All right. Very good. All right. Many, many blessings. Self love, you are up next. So, you want to know which two opportunities what Spirit was talking about one day, and it related to which areas? Okay. Well, let's see. They'll probably remember. I have no idea. I'm glad my human gets to just be along for the ride. They're the smart ones. All right. So let's take a look here. For self love, what are the two opportunities you were talking about with them, and what areas of their life? Okay. So, one area we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is the outside world. This is about fruit. Something is taking its time to come to fruition in the outside world. And this would be, I don't, the other thing is love. That's just a given here with the Two of Cups. Significant relationship, whether romantic or friend or family or whatever. But one area has to do with, partnership, even communicating and having a relationship with your higher self. So it could be any type of relationship. And the other one has to do with the outside world. I feel like this is more, um, the Seven of Pentacles is more job oriented, is the nature that's coming in there. And it just feels like there's something that's just taken a long time to happen and unfold, because the Eight of Pentacles after that would be movement. Finally, you've been putting in the blood, the sweat, and the tears, the actions behind things. So, whatever this career or job opportunity, um, it's like if you're striving for a promotion or a new job or something, it just feels like, oh my gosh, how long is this going to take? But it feels like those are the two areas that the opportunities related to are the love and relationship and job career. So that is what they have for you, self love. So many blessings for you. All right. Up next. Hey, Julia. Blessings to you as well. And you want to know current feelings from your Leo? Absolutely. Shishing. Cards flying out here. Let's see what we've got here. All right. Well, we got the little Five of Wands here. I think, did we have this come up? I don't know why. I'm having like a flashback. I've been dreaming a whole lot. I wonder if sometimes I wake up and I feel like I was doing recording um, readings all night. So sometimes I wonder if I'm just having the dreaming of the stuff. So unless this makes sense to you too, but I feel like we had something similar where there's this energy, like there's the wands is passion and drive and energy and ambition and things like that, and the Ace of Pentacles is like this new opportunity that's coming up. I feel between the two of you, it's like they have this nervousness, this anxiety, or this fear, but the Five of Wands is all about that it just it turns into something less fearful, less anxious. Um, so I feel like that's the energy that's going on with the Leo right now is like it's either excitement and nervous energy that's turns into something more loving and gentle. But it's about a new opportunity coming up here between the two of you, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming through for you, Julia. So that's Leo one's energy, right? They become alert, growl, and then they calm down. But that's what's coming through. So hopefully that makes sense for you. And many blessings to you. Good to see you. So 10 of Wands and Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So this new opportunity, they're kind of nervous, a little nervous. It's like excitement, nervous, around it. So I like it, which makes sense now that you're saying that, because it's like it's exciting that you're going to be near them, but then also they're like, what if I screw it up? That's kind of what I feel. All right. All right. So Dijona Sturgis, you are up next. So what good things are coming for you? Let's take a look here. What good things are happening? All right. Well, it does here you've got a lot of fire energy here. I mean, obviously, look at how bright all this is. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving energy. And so there is this passion coming in, this excitement, and the Seven of Wands too. It's like whatever this is, you have this definitely this blessing that is coming in for you here because it's very, very bright, very shining. It's like you're up on a hill in the middle of the darkness and shining bright, and it just feels overflowing. It just feels like the sun. Almost, I mean, this combination feels like the sun card where there's just this abundance, this flow that's coming in, and it's coming in very soon because the Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight. But I just feel like this great amount of joy. You couldn't even see it from her heart here. It's just like her heart chakra. It's just like blam. So I feel like there's a great amount of energy, and this can be spiritual energy too. So, which also can express itself in the outside world through drawing in, a beautiful mirror of love in the outside too. But I feel like you've been working on your heart center, your heart chakra, and clearing things out, and moving your love vibration up. And I feel like this is what's coming. I think we've talked about, letting go of the thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore around relationship and love and other things so that it's more wide open. And this would tell me that you've been working on that and doing that because here comes this, it's like the love vibration is accelerating and you're moving quickly. It's moving quickly up, which draws someone in. Not only is your higher love vibration to the higher realms expanding and going up, it's also drawing in someone unlike anyone else that you've had before. Again, a beautiful mirror of that self love that comes your way. So I like that for you, Dijona. So many, many blessings to you there. And we'll continue moving down the list here. Ah, very good. You're very welcome, LA. All right. So, Stella, you are up next. So, a general for the week. Let's take a look here. So, what? All right. Whoa, okay. Not all those. You're like, wow, what a week you're going to have. Okay. Okay. Well, it is a beautiful, bright, sunshiny type of week because you have the Nine of Cups, which is kind of a wish fulfillment card, but definitely emotional, overflowing in a positive way. You've got the Prince of Wands, which is the Page of Wands, so exciting new energy, exciting new passion, wonderful awareness around your energy as well. And you have the Four of Wands, which is a joy and a celebration, very stable energy too. So I mean, it's feels like a very happy, overflowing, passionate, week of just excitement and energy. And maybe even with that Four of Wands, that can represent like a gathering of some sort. Like, is there a birthday party or a wedding or an office party or a night out with friends or whatever it may be? It feels like there's something that's being celebrated and there's this. It just feels joyful. It just feels overflowing. So I like that for you for your week. You're like, all right, bring it on. And I like that. So that is what they have for you, Stella. So many blessings for you. And Esther E., you are the next one up. You're welcome, Dijona. All right, Esther E., what months will be major and what will be major about them? Since free readings are like two cards, we're going to do two of the months, and I feel like it's not just two, but they're giving you two of the months here, and the cards will reveal those as well. All right. Well, the month of April, we have the four here, and the thing here, the thing that would be major about it here, the Four of Pentacles is about, think of a four as, so sorry, four huge legs on a table, has the stability that comes into your outside world. But the Four of Pentacles brings this big aha that it just kind of clicks in our mind and it seeps down into our heart where we're like, yeah, that it tells us when we look to the outside world to define our worth, we feel unstable because those things are unstable. And I feel like something just clicks and you realize this, where relationships, of course, people change, people pass away, people walk away. So relationships are never stable. They're never for forever, right? Situations like jobs and education and all that never stay the same. So they're unstable. And then the third thing that we're told to look at to define ourselves by in the outside world is our things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. But we know those things deteriorate, they break down, they burn up, blow up, stolen. So all of that we realize is unstable out there. Eventually, we grow bored of that and we turn inward and upward to find that which is stable, which is the unconditional, eternal love from up above. It is the only thing that is stable and solid. And so we have this new change. And when we have that stability of our worth, it's self-worth, self-worth isn't from the outside because that's not self. Self is inward and upward. I usually say we define ourselves by the outside world. That's retail price. Retail price up and down and all over the place. And you end up on a clearance rack or donated to Goodwill, right? And so we turn inward and upward, and I feel like that's what's for April. And then you have September, is another major month. And the Nine of Pentacles shows that you are finding in the month of September a whole new way of looking at your worth in relation to the outside world. So it's almost like you're learning a lot here, and it just continues over the 5 months where you have a big aha and a big change in September because you have in their hands is the dove, which is spirit. So you're not alone. And you have the black cat. And this is you standing on your own, not needing the outside world to define you. And you're really, really grasping this and in a solid way. So those are the two they have for you right now, Esther E. So many blessings to you. There are others, I'm sure. But those two are the ones I wanted you to know about this evening. So many, many blessings to you. All right. So, Spiritual Gifts Diva, you'll be my next free reading, but I do have a donation. So, thank you so much, Anna, for your donation. Good evening to you. And so, your lovely cousin. Oh, all right. Yes, definitely. She's in a better place, right? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's take a look here and see what messages from Spirit or from her. All right. So I'm not sure if seven is, you've hit two sevens here. So obviously this is a significant number, seven or July or 7 7. Um, but they, I like this. I feel like there's this energy from them, 7 of Pentacles. I just feel like this, all of these symbols mean something, like all the butterflies, all the little Pegasus, like this, for some reason, all the horses are reminding me of a merry-go-round, you know, with all the horses, that were like they'd have at carnivals. It's just showing this thing, and I feel like this is her showing us just how beautiful it is on the other side. That it feels like paradise. I mean, it's magical, it's beautiful, and it's not the normal meaning of these cards, but I'm just kind of just looking at them in a whole different way, which is her saying, you just see things in a whole different way. There's just all this beautiful emotions to drink from, all this beautiful stuff, the dove of peace. But there's just all this wonderful energy here. And like they're saying, yeah, they are definitely in, this, oh, she did love butterflies. Yeah. She's in a much, much, much better place, a place of unconditional love. And spirit, when they like to tell us, the people on the other side, and this is for anyone who's listening to, that whenever we have loved ones, as soon as we leave our bodies, as soon as, this is just an extension, it's like the fingernail and a pinky of this entire body. This human experience is just a tiny little piece of our huge existence. And when we pull back our spirit from this human body, we are immediately beside every single one of our loved ones all at the same time. I channeled someone's husband for them that had passed, and they took me through the moments of their passing because they actually died in their home in the hallway, because they couldn't breathe. And they were like, in a moment, they went from here to suddenly realizing everything about their life, how it fit in, how their life fit into everyone else's. and they understood every decision they ever made and everything that ever happened in their life. And it just like in one moment was that, and then the second moment they were like near all their loved ones all at the same time, because they were like, it's so cool, there's no space or time and you can be present, 100% present with every single one that you loved without having to share any time, and they're always we're always around every single one. And in the next moment they get to experience with their loved ones every emotion and decision and thought and experience that their loved one has had all of their life, all the way back to the womb, and then also all the way up until they pass. Now, they're like very hush hush about all the stuff of the future, because they're like, oh, when they're on the other side, they're like, we're not going to spoil it for you. It's exciting not to know. And like, yeah, when you're up there, it's exciting. But they just show so much of our it's just so different. It's just so powerful. It's just so, they know us so much more deeply, um, than they ever could as a human. And they're in awe of who we are and everything we've went through, every emotion we've had, every thought, every decision we made. They understand and get it all because they get to experience it in an instant. So it's like an instant. It's just like, and they're connected there. So it is so just unfathomable, from our human brain experience to really grasp all that, but they share that with us just to let us know that they may be, um, not, we may not see them, but they're never gone. And they will bring messages like crazy to let us know in whatever way possible, in the outside world and touching our brain and having a memory pop out of nowhere. We're not even thinking about them. And all of a sudden we're like, why am I thinking about that? It's because they went "Tsk," and they touched that. And so I feel like this is just their way of letting you know that, very peaceful, very powerful, that they're around everyone. Um, so I like that. And so hopefully that brings a little bit of warmth, knowing that they are right there with you right now. They're listening and they're going, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So feel free to share that with any of your other family members too, if they'd like to hear that. But many blessings to you, Anna. Thank you again so much, and hang in there. Sending you much love, and just know that she's around you too. She will always be around you. Shenanigans, shenanigans. Be ready. She's a hoot. All right. So again, thank you so much for your donation. All right. Elpedia, thank you for your donation as well. And you'd like to know the current energies of your ex-work colleagues towards you. You used to work at GSS, especially members from the Mind Manders project. Okay. Sure, absolutely. We can definitely take a look here. Now, keep in mind here, Spirit is saying that, when we ask about other people's thoughts about us, there was this wonderful uh, thing that came across today about mirrors that they had me write down, and I feel like this was for you as well around this, because it says if you see greatness in someone else, it's because you hold the quality of greatness within you. And that's how the world mirrors ourselves for us, by seeing ourselves in others. So whatever your teammates see in you, it's because it exists within them, whether it's the greatness or anything else. It's because they house that within them is why they're seeing it in you. So when we ask about what other people think about us or thought about us, just keep that in mind, that when a monkey looks in a mirror, it sees a monkey. When a lion looks in a mirror, it sees a lion. And so multiple people are going to see you in different ways, right? So let's take a look here and see what Spirit wants you to know here. Right, anything else? Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, so I got 4 cards that came out here, and, so this represents 4 different individuals or 4 different perspectives, and what's funny is when, a 5th card came out and I go, "Well, who's this?" And this is like, "Well, this is you." You know? Here is, your human self and your higher self, and like they're like, this is the opinion that matters because this is self-worth. When we really look at it, it's like the outside world is retail price. What people think of us changes from season to season, how they're feeling in the moment, etc. But the only thing that's really solid is when we turn inward and upward and we look at the opinion of our higher self for us. So I like that. So one individual here with the 7 of Pentacles, this is like someone who believed it was only a matter of time before you left. It was only a matter of time before you were no longer there. Well, for whatever reason, they were just like, oh, I kind of feel like this person didn't really take time to connect with you because they have like attachment issues and they're like, they just had a feeling you weren't going to be there, and so they just always um, kind of stood at an arm's distance, very just business. you know you try to see how they're doing and who they are, and it's just all business, and they just kind of did that, and so that's kind of what's coming in with one. um, Another one, saw you, the Ace of Wands is like new passion, new drive, new ambition. They saw you as a fiery individual that just go, 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 had a lot of energy, just invested themselves a lot in things. And so someone had a very high way of looking at you, just like, well, get out of her way, get out of the way, because you are, like it's a go getter, and you're just like, let them do it. They'll do it. If I don't do it, they'll do it because they just know that you're just, and so that's the way they perceived you. Um, Another person here, with the full card here, it's like they saw you as, I would use the word refreshing. Like, they didn't think you were odd. They were just like, they liked that you had different ideas and different ways of doing things. And they kind of looked at it as like almost like you're a rebel in a way, that you didn't want to do things the old ways because you felt like some of them were ridiculous. And they liked the refreshing new blood, the new ideas that you would bring in. And they always liked that about you. They saw you as like this adventurer, rebel, individual, um, there. Though I don't feel like they would back you up. you know, it's like if you were like, "Hey, what a great idea. We should do this and this and this and this. I'm gonna go talk to them." And they would be like, "Oh, it sounds great. We'll see you." They wouldn't like stick their neck out and wanting to change things, but they really supported you in doing it. And you probably, I wonder if you're like going, "Oh, that's so and so, that's so and so, that's so and so." And then the 3 of Wands, the fourth person. This one, the 3 of Wands is about a change of direction. Um, and so this person isn't like the first one, that felt like you were always going to go a different direction. That you wouldn't be around long. But this one is more positive in a way that they were like, you know what? They're not going to be here long because either, like there's almost like there's 3 reasons why they're not going to be here long. One, they're too talented to be here. They're gonna, they're not going to be able to keep you entertained or engaged. The other is like, um, I kind of feel like you didn't like to do things the way that everyone wanted you to do them. And they're like, yeah, that's not going to work well here because they're very adamant about following these rules and you got it. And there's no like there's no flexibility. And again, with that rebel, I kind of feel like you maybe push things a little bit or question things, and you don't question things here. And then there was a third thing that they just um, it didn't even, it feels like the third thing, they were just like, they just had a gut feeling. They're like, "I don't feel like they're gonna be here long, because I feel this and this, but there's just," so I kind of feel like, there's not like, a lot of angst or things there, and it's because all of these people, those are things they feel about themselves in some way, and, so spirit brings you back to, looking at your higher self and connecting there. But interesting, interesting. You know, that's the whole thing. We never know what people are thinking. We're either going to be, in the drama of human mirrors, we either are a villain, a hero, or a victim in people's eyes. And we can be all three to someone and not even realize it. But that's what they have for you, Elpedia. So thank you again so much for your donation. I greatly appreciate that, and enjoy your adventure. All right. I'm just going to close my blinds here. It's gotten dark out now. All right. So we left off with spiritual gifts diva for the. And you want to know, how will your soulmate be? So let's take a look here and see what spirit wants you to know on the scavenger hunt of discovering who is going to be your soul partner. All right. So we've got the King of Swords. I know someone that there was some people the last 3 days have been asking about who their soulmate or whatever are. The King of Swords comes up. I'm like, how many people are they dating? No, but this is like swords are our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, our intellect, and it represents someone who is a great communicator, who is very cerebral. They definitely are intelligent, um, and they have a thirst for knowledge, as well. With the high priestess here, it also tells me that not only are they intellectual, they also have a deep emotional connection. The high priestess, with the moon, she connects to the moon, she goes behind the veil, dives deep, very intuitive too. So, it's a good combination. It's a balancing of mind and heart and intuition, and even maybe spiritual knowledge they have a hunger for. But you won't see this right away. They keep that hidden behind them, and you wouldn't. I think you will pick up on it because you'll see a sign. Like you'll be like, "There's some sort of new moon. They're into something." You'll see signs around them that they're into spirituality, a deeper type of mysticism. Um, but you don't pick up on it because they mask it really well with their intellect. It's not something that they're like wide open about, because people around them don't understand, especially family. They have their, way of looking at stuff. So they kind of just keep it, to themselves, and to those that are closer to them that are not judgmental in their family. So that's a little bit of tidbit of who they are, spiritual gifts divas. So many blessings for you. All right. So continue moving down the list. You're welcome, Elpedia. And Felicia Fang, hello, hello. And thank you so much for the reminder about the thumbs up. And thank you guys so much for all of you that have given a thumbs up on the video. It does help spread the Zen love, and it is free to do, which is the perfect price, right? But it seems like a small thing, but the YouTube algorithm loves it, and it wants to share the videos of the channel with other people as well automatically. So thank you guys so much for all of you that give this video and other videos a thumbs up. You're part of the love tsunami, and thank you. All right. All right, Felicia. So you want to know any information that the universe wants to tell you? Absolutely. And I want to grab one of these other. You have the Queen of Cups, which Queen of Cups, she rolls over emotion and double portion. It's almost like the high priestess, very, very close to that in intuition and connection to the spirit world. But they wanted me to give you a return of spirit card. Um, so let's take a look here and see what they want you to know here. Of course, this is call these the spiritual ink blot test. So whatever you see is a special message for you, and then I'll reveal the word and then the what the author says. So I'll let you see what you see, right? And then the reveal of the word is recognition. Boom, boom, boom. And let's see what message that spirit has for you. Yeah. And it says, it is important that we each feel recognized and seen for our hard work and unique contributions we make to this world. And this is why the recognition card has come to you today. The universe does see you in all that you do. You're being given the recognition, the love, and the support which you deserve. This card can also come when we are about to receive recognition in the physical world as well. Could be receiving an award, an honor, or a mention. This could be at work or with a community or a social group. And this can also be on a smaller scale in a more personal way. Either way, you're being seen, recognized, and honored for what you do. Whatever form it comes in, just remember that spirit speaks to us through the physical world and through the mouths of others. Whether you're just beginning or already working on a project or idea, be aware that the actions you take now could lead you to being recognized publicly. And this could be on a small scale or with the public at large. Either way, your current efforts will be recognized in the future. No matter what it is you do or how well you feel you're doing it, Spirit is giving you a cosmic pat on the back. You have done well. Now, just allow yourself to really take that in. Good job, you. And with the empowerment you gain in feeling recognized and appreciated, you will then be given the opportunity to begin to pay it forward. And every time someone you encounter does something which impresses you, be sure to tell them. Not only will you completely make their day, but you'll be surprised how good it will make you feel as well. Absolutely. I know you do that already, I feel. So I really like that for you. Well deserved. So that is what Spirit wanted you to know right now, Felicia. So many blessings to you. All right. So continue moving down the list here. And Mars. Almost missed you there. You're right in the middle of all my postings. So, hello, hello. Why is M not talking to you and acting funny? Uh-oh. Let's take a look here and see what's going on with M. Okay. So we have the Hierophant here, and the Hierophant is like this journey. They're pointing here into the maze of trying to find out who they truly are, what they truly want out of life. And with this coming in here, it's just like they're withdrawn inward in this maze and they're lost in trying to find out who they are, what they want, just trying to figure things out is this energy. It's like hermit, they're gone totally inward and they're totally just ignoring the outside world. But I feel like something that has spawned this, we have the Queen of Wands, and there's like this energy of the Queen of Wands uh, can be them, in the way that the Queen of Wands looks at where they're investing their energy. The black cat is them connecting and trusting their gut and trusting their instinct, and allowing them to, make changes and go directions. So some of that is coming in there too. But I almost feel like this is a person that has spawned them to turn inward and just to look at themselves. So either someone, said something, did something that just really cut them to the bone, to where they just, you know, uh, I almost feel like with the kitties here, I just feel like someone stepped on someone's tail, and they ran, and then whoosh, and they ran, and now they're hiding, and you can't find the cat anywhere. And I kind of feel like whatever has happened, whatever this individual did, just really, again, it's almost like they just did a Zorro with their tongue, just cut him down. Psh, psh, psh. Three little slight, uh, slices that just have made them just not want to face the world, and has rattled their very foundation kind of feel to it. I mean, really, like, what did someone say? What did they do? What did they do to him? Um, but whatever happened, that's why they're just pulled totally inward. And it's like I said, they keep on showing me a cat that ran away that you can't find. You're looking under the bed, you're looking at all the regular places, and they're like, where are they hiding? They just got scared and hurt so badly by whoever this was, or whatever situation it was, that they're just totally withdrawn. So that's what I feel is coming through Mars. So hopefully that resonates. All you can do is send love to them and put out kitty treats, maybe even some of the what do they like? The catnip. Spiritually help them through. But that's what's coming through right now, Mars. So many blessings to you. All right, Star Girl, you are up next. You want to know who is coming towards you? Let's take a look here. All right. Well, you've got the star here. I almost feel here with these combinations. Not almost. This is what I do feel. It's there. The star card represents, like, what our wish come true. If I could wish upon a star, what would it be, right? And the Seven of Swords is us looking at our thoughts and mindsets, all this stuff. All this is below the surface. We're aware of some of the things, some of our fears around what our wish come true. But I feel like we're figuring out, what are these restrictions. This represents the thievery card or deception card. And it's like we're realizing, what of my own mindsets and my thinking have me deceived about what my true dream is. If I could say, like, what's my dream come true? It's like, well, it's this, and this. And like, where's that coming from though? Because it doesn't feel like me, and I'm not excited about it. It's like when you wake up in the morning going, oh crap, I got to go live my dream today. It's not your dream. That's a dream that was, given to you from someone else, and it's been bubbling down here, and you're bringing it to the surface and really questioning, what is this dream? Who is it that I do want to be with, and who do I want to be? I feel like you're figuring that stuff out. And right now, who's coming towards you is like on this, "Er," like, nope, not yet. Because they want you to, it's like before you hit the purchase button on your cart on Amazon, they're like, really look through that stuff. Is that what you really want? Or is that what other people have told you should want? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm deleting some of this thing. I don't want that stuff. I want this stuff. I'm adding new things to my cart before you push the button on the wish fulfillment. And so that is what they have for you, Star Girl, right now, is like they kind of have frozen people coming towards you to figure that out, so that the who comes towards you will be more in alignment with your higher heart. So that is the message for you. So many blessings to you, Star Girl. You are very welcome. All right. So let's see. We answered that one and that one. All right. So I think we're to Emiliano Avina. Hello. Hello. And you want to know about Alexandra? You don't really know her, but you have a crush on her. Aw. I, I just want to know if she has some interest in you. All right. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know around Alexandra and her feelings and anything important that you need to know here? So we've got the 3 of Cups is like this joy and celebration, and usually when we're asking about love interest in others, the 3 of Cups will represent that more of like a group, like there's 3 people involved, and that there's there is joy there. They do enjoy being around you. It's like you're bright. I don't know what, if you're a like a fire sign, but they kind of see you as a bright light, smiling, laughing. Maybe you are, in Aries, a Leo, Sagittarius. This is Leo energy, but it does show like this brightness, and or you light up around them, and they like this light. But I don't feel like it's a at this point that they almost feel like this would be like a small group of friends, and they right now they just enjoy who you are. I don't feel crush is indicated here, but it doesn't mean that it won't for the future. But currently, um, it's not like um, they haven't allowed themselves emotions of those kinds. And I feel like I just kind of feel like they are a very joyous type of person. They have a lot of friends, a lot of people, and I don't feel that they realize it when people are flirting with them, because I feel like they just have such a big heart, and they're always happy to everyone, that one, a lot of people misconstrue that, that they misconstrue their kindness and their warmth as something else. But also they don't get it when someone are flirting with them either, or interested. They're just like, I just don't know. I don't get it. I can't tell, and I kind of feel that way. So at some point, I feel like um, if you want to know, you're gonna have to let her know you're into that, how you feel in some way, and then they're like, oh, you know. So that's what I feel, Emiliano, with that situation. So we can always look another time too to see, are they for your highest experience? You're going to end up with them? So we can ask those types of questions as well. All right, but many blessings to you. Okay, very good. All right. Okay, we answered those. Okay, we did that. Hey, Kavita. And okay, looks like you have something further down. You're welcome. All right, very good. All right. So Kavita, Misty Blue got in right before you asked your question. So you'll be next after that. All right. So Misty Blue, what is coming for you in love in the next month? So let's take a look here. All right. Well, you do have the Tower card here. And the Tower card, I feel like things are being moved out of the way. There's like a building being destroyed to make room for a whole new castle to be built. This tower's coming down. So with whatever has been removed out of your life, either recently or about to, whether it be relationship, people, situation, or whatever, This is what is being cleared. It is happening for you to make space or to clear your path to go somewhere to where you have this wish come true here. There we go. The little falling star coming in there in the background. And it does, it brings in here this King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, so it can be an earth sign, of course. So it can be, what is that, Taurus or Virgo or Capricorn, someone who's very grounded. Um, but also all the kings are given air too. So a very grounded individual on the outside, they would appear to be very earthy, where very, kind of like they're casual, they dress casual, maybe bordering hippie-ish, which is totally okay. But they dress comfortable. They don't dress to impress others. They dress for comfort and for their enjoyment. But they have a mind that people might look at someone and go, "Oh wow, they must um, not be ignorant or whatever." But they have a bright mind too, very intelligent, able to communicate, and um, it would blow people away because one, they're not expecting it, and but they know, oh yeah, da 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 da, da, and they're like, wow, okay, I totally misread you, and I feel like that's the kind of individual that will be coming in here for you. But it's someone who's very solid in themselves and their worth in relationship to the outside world. Again, I just feel like they're so grounded that they're not swayed by other people's opinions and all of that. And not that they're stubborn and flexible, but they don't have fear around it. They just stand in themselves and they're open. They like learning, so they'll listen to people, but then they will use their own intelligence to go, yeah, I'm not sure if I quite buy into what they're saying, but I like that. A very solid foundation there. So that's what they have for you, Misty Blue, which is coming in for love for you. So I feel like you'll meet them and all the stuff that's being moved out of the way. I feel like in the next month, that's this movement, this stuff that's significant endings and beginnings of things that are happening are really setting you up to meet them. And I feel like you will meet them. Yeah, because I don't feel like you know them yet. But I feel like you'll meet them here in the at the end of the next month, because all this other stuff has to clear out of the way for you to take steps and movement toward that. So that's what they have, Misty Blue. Many blessings to you. And Kavita. So you want to know the next 15 days. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit want you to know around the next 15 days? Right, here's the next 7 days, and then the next 8 days. They're being funny, but they are saying this is the next 7 days. You have the death and the rebirth. So you do have some endings and beginnings, some significant ones that are happening over the next 7 days, the next week. But it's great. It's opening things up here for what comes after that. Oh, well, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. So you have this ending and beginning, and here's the new beginning. So the thing ends in the first 7 days, and then the next 8 days, is when you start your new adventure. The full card is the first card in the major arcana. It follows the world card, which the world card is the last card in the major arcana 21, and it's significant endings of old cycles and new beginnings. And here's the new beginnings, this adventure that's free of expectations. And so you do have this rebirth that's happening over the next 2 weeks that just allows significant things to end and significant new adventures to begin. So it's all for you, though. It's nothing that, you know, um, that full card just shows you that you're excited for this new adventure for whatever. Let me see. Oh, very good. That's a very good way to look at it, Lovely Lovey. Gonna take care of others. So I had no doubt. Very nice. All right. So everyone in the room, Send love to lovely love to win lottery. She'll create a commune for all of us to go live on a farmland. Maybe. I'm not committing you to it. I'm just joking. All right. So let me take I think we're almost to the bottom here, actually. All right, Misty Blue. Misty Blue, you need someone grounded. Very cool. Very good. Cha-ching. Hey, Crescent Moon, thank you so much for your donation. And you want to know what's coming towards you in love? You're currently single. Absolutely. Let's take a look here. All right. Wow. So you've got a lot of wonderful things that are unfolding here. I mean, you are in this hanged one, this hanged man position, now where I just feel like you have this you've been in this cocooning, right? Please be nosy. Absolutely. So this is like you're in the cocoon, right? So you're letting a lot of the caterpillar soup, a lot of things falling away here uh for you because with all of this I see the King of Swords is about this they rule over air, but they also all the kings are given a second portion of air. So they're really in tune with their thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, and that Ace of Swords allows to cut away these fears and these old ways of thinking. And so it's like it's cutting away the old strings that you feel have been just tangling up in your mind and keeping you from doing things that you wanted before. And it just feels like you're cleaning house and you're just like, you know what? These strings, I'm cutting them off and I'm not going to allow these things to influence me anymore. And, they have to deal with the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, which is the feelings of abandonment and being left out in the cold and lack, and that humans just keep pulling out the rug from underneath of you with the support. They have good intentions, but they don't have good follow through. And the Six of Pentacles has to do with like your side of it, where you know when you were younger, you had the this giving and receiving out of balanceness, like all of us are when we're younger. Usually it's 7 years old and younger, where uh, we try to give so much to get attention from parents, grandparents, whoever it was when we were younger, and we get a little bit back. And so we have this out of balance love exchange where we feel we have to give 1,000 coins to get one love coin back, and all that goes into the subconscious. And I feel these are the things that you've been dealing with and looking at with and going, why is it that I want people to give to me, or I have a trouble receiving from people, or people just won't give to me? It's because there's the subconscious barriers that are created. But the good news is, as you're going through this in that cocoon, is where you're releasing these things. You're realizing, when you bring into your consciousness these, whoever this was, usually parents are prime suspects, because they're the ones that are so busy trying to live life and have a roof over our head and food. And maybe we have a lot of siblings and they don't have the time and the energy to give us what we need. And so we overdo things to try to get their attention, and blunk, we get the little bit. But when we bring it into the conscious and go, oh, it was my parents, a little edit button suddenly appears above that 1,000. We can click in there and delete the zeros, which brings it down to 1 to 1. You click save, and it changes the way that you um, look at love, and it allows a different type of love to come in. And it just is doesn't turn into a codependent type of relationship It's like an equal give and receive, right? We're like, "Whoa, what?" And that 5 of Pentacles does transform as well because, we realize that our sustenance doesn't come from the outside world anyway. It really comes from the source, creator, mother and father of all things, which has endless resources. And they're able to, we're building this trusting relationship with creator that you've made sure I've had everything I've needed and even some things I've wanted in my life. You've never let me down. So I'm going to trust you, not out here. They might be the shipping company, humans might be the shipping company that bring it to us, but we're really going, okay, you're the one, the big kahuna is the one who's bringing it for you. So I feel like this is a lot of this cutting away the things that have impacted love in the past. You just really been just snipping and looking into it, and things are coming up, and that's what that caterpillar juice does, is the caterpillar skin deteriorates, and then the caterpillar just becomes this big juice bomb. And that's when it starts to transform into the butterfly, but it's letting go the stuff that no longer needs. And I always love the analogy of when the butterfly, of course, comes out of the cocoon. It doesn't wrap up the cocoon and throw it over its shoulder and carry it with it. It leaves that cocoon behind. Whatever caterpillar juice was not needed, it stays there. It dries up. It's gone, and then they flutter forward. And I like this because this is really you stepping into your power. Here's your human self and your higher self. And our human self was told to look to the outside world for all that stuff. And we're sorely disappointed in so much of it that we eventually turn inward and upward and have this beautiful relationship with our higher self where we feel whole and complete on the inside. And then the outside world, instead of feeling like it's lacking and falling short, we found everything in here. Everything they give is above and beyond extra, and we're not desperate for it. We don't need it. We want it, but we don't need it. And so we're not like, no one can manipulate us. Like, well, if you don't like what I have, I'm going to leave. Okay, bye. We kind of do that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So you're letting go of these things, right? You're looking at, some of those old things were still there. They didn't go anywhere. So they're coming up here. Yeah, I feel like as you do this stuff, you're emerging as the butterfly. And so I was about to actually get to this card. So you're asking perfectly in timing there. The Queen of Pentacles, in addition to being Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, is new birth, is new love, new sensuality, new things coming in. So I just feel like the important thing is to develop this relationship with your higher self, which and look at those other things they talked about, and then it brings the harvest. It brings the yeah, the harvest, the newness, the new birth. No babies, just new birth. But be careful. If you still have the ability to have babies, be careful unless you want to have another child. But I do like that for you. So good stuff a coming your way. Thank you again, Crescent Moon, so much for your sense of humor and for your donation. Um, sure, we can take a look here. Let me take a look here. I've got had another donation come through here. All right. So, Renee, I will take care of you here in a quick moment. Thank you for your donation. So, let me just take a look here and see just some guidance on who this person is, real quick. All right. So, the world card here is ending of old cycles, new beginnings. So, it's someone that, unlike anyone that you have ever been interested in. I just feel like the old ideas, the old expectations, the old, well, this is my type or whatever, out the window with this one. And we have the Prince of Wands, which is, it would be the Page of Wands in the standard tarot, which is fire sign. And here's Leo, but I so it is definitely someone who's passionate and fiery. I almost feel like they might be younger than you, with it being the Prince of Wands. And so I feel like that is something that maybe uh, in the past would have been like, oh no, oh no. Okay, good. Well, good. I'm glad that the baby stork is flown, so you don't have to worry about the new birth there. Um, but the Prince of Wands, it feels someone very energetic. So that could be, a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, and but very exciting, go-getting, handsome, or beautiful, just very, prominent that way. And yeah, I just feel like they're just full of life and full of zest, and I feel like this is what ready for you, ready to have someone that wants to go do stuff that just, that can Netflix it at home and cuddle on the couch, but that's like after you've had a day of running and doing things and maybe hiking or doing this or checking out farmers market, antiquing, whatever it is that you're like, I just want to go new adventures. And this person does have a lot of adventure, does have a lot of, spunk and spice in them. So I like that for you, right? That is fun. All right. So that is what they have for you, Crescent Moon. So many blessings. Enjoy the journey. All right. And Renee, thank you for your donation. And so you want to know how will that be? I know, right? Please do. I can live vicariously through you. All right. So let's take a look here, Renee, and see how will that first date go? And do they want a relationship? All right, let's take a look here. So it's first date. And do they and will they? Okay. So first date, I like this. I mean, I feel like the Six of Cups here, when I saw that, I immediately thought of like they it's like you're gonna do something not childish or childlike, but something that reminds you of your childhood. Either you go somewhere, you do something, I don't know why they're bringing like carnival, it's like something like just kind of fun, like they want to do something fun, and it feels like that anyway, even if it's not. It just feels like exciting. It just feels like an adventure. It feels like different and something new, but something um but fun, and I really like that. So that energy coming through there. And the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like you you survived the first date, still feeling solid in yourself. So that's good. The Nine of Pentacles is about, a solid feeling in your worth in relationship to the outside world. So I feel like your sense of self-esteem stays intact throughout the date. So that's a good sign. They're funny. But they're saying, yeah, it feels good. It feels satisfactory. The nine is the hermit's journey. And I say that because you do get the hermit's card here with my second question, which you were asking, like, do they want a relationship now? Well, they're kind of going back and forth between it themselves because I feel like they enjoy being alone, but they also want a relationship, and I feel like they're kind of like, yeah, they do are considering it, but they also enjoy being independent and alone as well. So I feel like they kind of go back and forth between the two. But I mean, like you said, this is the first date, right? It would be like, well, they want to get to know you better and before they make a decision. I don't feel like there's someone who, especially with that hermit, it's kind of Virgo energy where they they don't just leap into things. They like to analyze. They like to look at it. They like to understand it and background check on you or whatever. And then I asked the additional question. I go, do they now and will they later? And will they later? You have the Seven of Wands and the King of Pentacles here. um, and the King of Pentacles is this feeling of wholeness and completeness, and um, the Seven of Wands is very fiery and seeing you on a hill and feeling happy and successful here. So I feel like this is like very grounding energy, and I feel like again this energy of they want to make sure of things. They want this strong foundation. Again, with the Hermit being Virgo, earthy type of energy, the King of Pentacles being very earthy energy, they just really like to be solid about things beforehand. But the Seven of Wands does show you on a hill being bright, shining bright, glowing, and other people going, "Why do you get to be, you know, all of that, right?" You shouldn't have specified, "Not right now." So, yeah, so you have this, um, for the future here, I just feel like they are, um it feels like it leans toward it, like they are desiring a relationship in the future, but I still feel like the when we're talking about future things, it's like so much can change depending on our energy. We are co-creators of our world, and so when we talk about the futures, um, there's so much that can change. In minutes from now, you could suddenly have an old flame that dials you up, and you're like, "Never mind, who? I want them." Things can change, and so when we look at the future, we're like, based on things as they are now with the energy, this is where it's headed. But it feels kind of foggy way out there when I was looking. So I feel like that they would want to get to know you and really do this. So we shall see. We shall see. You know, um, right? Very good. All right. So that is what they have for you, Renee. Thank you again so much for your additional donation there. Really appreciate it. All right. Well, I don't have any other donations and I don't have any other questions. So we're going to go ahead and we'll close this down this evening. But before you go, if you have not checked out my drawing, it is tomorrow, so it's not too late to get into it. Here's the link for the video. It also talks about the monthly giveaway that I'm going to be having, and it has to do with the monthly readings that I put out for each individual zodiac sign. And here's the playlist for that. So if you haven't checked out your monthly reading, be sure to do that. And if you want to like dive into knowing more about like your love in the month, if you look at your Venus sign and your moon sign, that will help you understand more information around that. And if you want to know about a masculine energy, check out the Mars sign in your life, or feminine energy, of course, would be Venus. And you can look at different things for the different planets. They represent different areas and they rule different areas of our life. It's like looking out different windows in a house. It gives you different viewpoints of the life you're living. So you don't have to look just at your sun sign. You can look at like all your planets if you want to get a big picture. So it's pretty cool there. So I like it. And then also we have just another day left on a sale that Teespring, well, they call it Spring now, but they were formerly Teespring. They have 25% off all their merchandise. And so if you want to check out any of my merchandise, like this I Love You, let me see, you can't really see it here. The I Love You shirts, and some others. I have a few different designs. And they're 25% off until through tomorrow on one order. So if you want to check that out, they hardly ever do that. So that's why I like to share that. And then we had a pick a card. I do put out a pick a card at least once a week. And last week's was life purpose. What do you need to know right now? So if you want to check out some more um, messages of love from above, you can check any of those out. Those are all free. Excuse me. And I do have a ton of pick a cards that I've done, and they're all in the playlist. If you check out my main page by clicking on my name at bruddaZEN Mystic Tarot. So that is it. Thank you guys again so much for all the thumbs up that you give the video and all your love, all your support, all your laughter and your sense of humor. You guys just always blow me away with your hunger and thirst for spirit. And I just feel like we're just a lovely soul family. So thanks for being part of my soul family. Thanks for being part of the love tsunami that we send out to the world. And I will be back. I'm here Wednesday through Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Time and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So I will see you guys again soon. Until I see you, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, have a great rest of your day or night, wherever you're at in the world. Much love to you, and you guys take care. We'll see you.